Feel the air filling your lungs now. With each inhale, a subtle energy, invisible yet tangible, enters you. It is not just oxygen. It is something more. It is the life force that animates every cell, every thought, every emotion. From the moment you wake up, this energy, which the ancient Eastern masters called chi, is in motion. It flows, but rarely in a conscious way. And in that lack of awareness lies the subtle tyranny of distraction, of anxiety, of that fatigue that routine injects into your soul. You feel it, don't you? That sensation that your mind is like a radio tuned to several stations at once, each screaming a different demand. The brain, our command center, acts as a loyal servant to this disorder, spending your precious mental energy on 1,000 unfinished tasks. The result is scattered focus, fragile resilience, and a calm that is merely the temporary absence of chaos, not its mastery. Neuroscience, with all its studies on brain waves and neural networks, shows us that attention is not an infinite resource. Every time we lose it, a small battle takes place in our brain, consuming the very energy that could have been used to create, to accomplish, to live with purpose. The monastics, in their millennial silence, were not merely meditating. They were hacking the system. They discovered that life force is not just a passive flow, it is a river that can be redirected, channeled, and used as fuel for the mind. Their secret, guarded for centuries, is not some esoteric magic but an internal science, a technology of consciousness that turns dispersion into laser focus, anxiety into strength, and turmoil into serenity. This is not a path for isolating yourself from the world, but for mastering it from the inside out, transforming your very essence. This is the starting point of a journey that goes beyond any concept of self-help you have ever known. This is an immersion into the timeless wisdom the monastics mastered, wisdom that reveals the map to mastery over your own energy. And the first step is to recognize that your life force is not merely a byproduct of living, but the source of your vitality, your ability to create, and your inner peace. Neglecting this source is why we feel exhausted, disconnected, and at the mercy of external stimuli. The neural networks in your brain, which process information and respond to stimuli, are in a state of chronic overload. Pure energetic spirituality teaches us to cleanse these channels, to recharge the system. Imagine your mind as a computer that needs a deep reboot, a reset that not only clears the memory but optimizes the operating system itself. That's the hack the monastics used. They did not just meditate to empty the mind, they filled it with intention, directing their chi to create an unshakable state of focus. They transformed inner chaos into sacred order. Our journey together here at Axiom Sage is so you can discover this order, so you stop being a mere passenger in your own life and become the driver. Your energy is the key, and mastery over it is the doorway to a life of purpose, resilience, and a calm that cannot be disturbed by anything happening outside. This is an invitation for you to look beyond the obvious, to tune into the frequency within you, and to begin hearing your own wisdom. Are you ready? Then let's proceed. The silence before the storm is the place where strength is born. What comes next is the revelation of an ancient secret. You have come this far for a reason. It was not chance that brought you to this screen, to this voice. It is your inner self, the one that longs for more, seeking a deeper connection with your own essence. Welcome that desire. Welcome that thirst for something that transcends the trivial, the superficial. We are not only what we do or what we have. We are the energy that moves us. Ancient wisdom teaches us that this energy, chi, is not static. It is like the water of a river. It can be murky and agitated, or clear and serene. What the modern world offers us is turbulence, the constant flow of information that stirs our minds and consumes our vitality. Neuroscience validates this in a fascinating way. Our brain, in its default resting state, often consumes most of our energy in wandering thoughts and worries, what researchers call the default mode network. It is the mind drifting without purpose, creating anxiety and draining our life force. The monastics, however, developed a way to hack this network, to silence the voice of inner chaos. They were not just seeking peace, they were engineering it. They learned to direct chi, to channel this energy toward the brain centers of focus and creativity, what we now call the task-positive network. This is the key. Calm is not the absence of noise, but the presence of an inner force capable of organizing turmoil. That force is your directed chi. This is the turning point, the moment you stop being a boat adrift on life's waves and become the captain of your own destiny. What comes next is not just words, but a method, a treasure map that resides within you, waiting to be claimed. Are you ready for this journey of self-discovery? Take a deep breath and feel this energy vibrate. The journey, in truth, has already begun. Welcoming is the first step. Welcome that inner voice that told you there is something more. This is the space for that voice to manifest, for your truth to begin emerging. The Eastern traditions call this the middle path, a state of balance between passivity and agitation. It is at this point of balance that magic happens, that the mind quiets, and true clarity appears. Neuroscience, for its part, speaks of brainwave modulation, of the state of coherence that allows integration between different regions of the brain. This is a state of power, a state of flow. And this state is not a luxury, it is your right. So let us claim that right together. Calm your being, relax your mind, and prepare to absorb the knowledge about to be revealed. Your attention is the portal. What you choose to focus on expands. Choose to focus on your own transformation. Eastern wisdom, allied with modern science, is here to guide you step by step on this rediscovery. Embrace the journey. Embrace the calm. Embrace the power that is about to awaken. The next stage is preparation. Let's take the first real step. This is not just about listening, but about preparing to receive. The knowledge the monastics guarded was not passive information, it was an inner technology that required a prepared mind, fertile soil. Neuroscience teaches us that attention is like a muscle, and like any muscle, it needs to be warmed up before intense exercise. If we try to absorb knowledge with a scattered mind, overloaded by echoes of the external world, it is like trying to fill a cup that is already full. The liquid overflows, the effort is wasted. True mental preparation is not about emptying the mind, but about creating space. It is silencing the noise so your own inner voice can be heard. This preparation begins with a conscious intention. Eastern traditions regard intention as the seed of all manifestation. What is your intention now? Intend clarity. Intend resilience. Intend calm. This simple choice, repeated with focus, begins creating new neural pathways in your brain. You are training your task-positive network to take command, to direct energy to where you truly want it to go. The monastics did this as a science. They intended the flow of chi, directing this life force with the precision of an engineer building a channel. They turned intention into an energetic current flowing through the body, feeding the mind and spirit. This is where spirituality meets neuroscience, not as separate concepts, but as facets of the same reality. Your mind is a field. You can let it grow weeds of worry and fear, or you can cultivate it with the seeds of intention. The time to begin that cultivation is now. Close your eyes for a moment. Breathe. Feel the intention to be here, to transform. This simple breath, done with purpose, is already an act of power. It recharges your internal battery, aligns your focus, and prepares your being for what is to come. Mental preparation is not a step, it is a foundation. Without it, knowledge is just information. With it, knowledge becomes a tool of transformation. Think of it as tuning an instrument. For the melody to be pure and powerful, each string must be perfectly adjusted. Your mind is that instrument. We are sharpening your perception, preparing your energy field, and tuning your mind to the frequency of wisdom. The practices the monastics used were not mere rituals, they were meticulous exercises for recalibrating body and mind. They did not seek superficial peace, but a solid foundation of tranquility from which all action and decision could arise with clarity. That foundation, built with the right mental preparation, will give you the capacity to absorb the secret about to be revealed, a secret that will allow you to consciously direct your chi to build unshakable focus, resilience that shields you from life's storms, and a calm that becomes your new normal. The stage is set. The mind is ready. What is about to be revealed is the key that will unite it all. Prepare yourself. The climax is near. We are ready. Your mind, now calmer and more focused, is a beacon waiting to be lit. You felt the preparation, the alignment of your intention. Now, the revelation. The secret the monastics used was not a complex practice or an abstract philosophy. It was a hack, a direct, silent command to your own life force, an inner technology they applied at the exact moment they sensed distraction approaching. Imagine your mind as a race car. Instead of being at the mercy of an overheated engine and a loose steering wheel, they found a button, a single switch that realigned the entire system, channeling the engine's power to the track instead of the walls. What they discovered is that chi is not merely the energy that sustains life, but the raw material of focus, resilience, and calm. And mastering this raw material doesn't require years of exhaustive training, but one precise movement of awareness. Neuroscience is only beginning to decipher this, studying the relationship between attention, intention, and brain waves. The monastics, millennia ago, had already mapped this relationship. They knew that by moving attention in a specific way, they could activate areas of the brain responsible for decision-making, concentration, and emotional regulation, silencing the noise of the default mode network. They created a state of neurological coherence, a perfect harmony between body, mind, and spirit. The climax of this journey is not information, it is a tool. A tool that unites the science of the mind with the spirituality of energy. What the monastics mastered was the art of using attention itself to create an inner force field, a shield against distraction. This is the turning point, where theory becomes practice, where knowledge becomes power. And power is not something you seek outside, it is something you awaken within. This hack won't give you superpowers, but it will give you the most fundamental power of all, mastery over your own mind, the ability to choose where to place your energy and, with that choice, to shape your reality. You are about to discover how to use your attention as a master key, capable of unlocking a potential you didn't know existed. The promise of this moment is that from now on, mental chaos will no longer be your default. You will have an alternative, a path to a calm that is not passive, but a source of power, a resilience that is not reactive, but still strong, a focus that is not forced, but a natural flow of your energy. The moment of revelation is close. What you are about to receive is the complete map, the precise instruction to activate this hack. Your mental preparation was the warm-up. What comes next is the application. This is the point where the timeless wisdom of the East meets your modern life, manifesting not as a concept, but as a direct, transformative experience. Are you ready for the inner technology that will redefine your focus, your resilience, and your peace? Are you prepared for the contemplative climax? The calm you seek is not in some distant place, it is at the center of your being, waiting for you to find it. It's time to take the key and open the door. Your mind is prepared for what comes next. The key you've been waiting for is not a complicated technique, nor a magical formula. It is a key of awareness, a simple act that redefines your entire experience. The monastics discovered that chi, the life force, is not randomly distributed throughout the body. It has a center, a silent furnace, about 4 finger widths below your navel. In terms of neuroscience and spirituality, it is the gravitational point of your being. The hack is this: move your attention, your focus, from the incessant turbulence of your head to the stillness and solidity of this central point. Imagine your mind as a radio tuned to a frantic news station, full of noise and static. What the monastics did was not to try to turn off the radio, but to tune it to a completely different frequency, the frequency of your own essence. And the dial for that frequency is at this center. This simple shift of attention is a silent command to your nervous system. The modern mind, always in a state of alert and survival, operates predominantly in sympathetic mode, our fight or flight response. This state is exhausting. It drains your chi and results in chronic anxiety and scattered focus. What the monastics knew, and what modern science now confirms, is that by directing attention to the center of your body, you activate the parasympathetic nervous system, the rest and digest mode. Your brain, which had been running in chaotic beta waves, begins to move into a more coherent state of alpha and even theta waves, associated with deep calm, intuition, and creativity. The climax is not an explosion of energy, but the opposite. It is the meeting with the stillness that generates all energy. It is the discovery that the most powerful force is not the shout, but the inner silence. This is the contemplative climax. It is the moment you realize you do not need to fight your mind, you simply need to realign your energy. Focus is not something you force, it emerges naturally when your energy is centered. Resilience is not an armor you put on, it is a foundation you build, a solid base from which you can act. And calm is not a fleeting emotion, it is the fundamental state of being you find when you return home, to your center. Think of your mind as a wild horse. Instead of fighting to tame it, you build a stable at the center of your being and simply call it home. The horse, finally, finds its place of rest. The external chaos continues, but your response to it changes. You don't become immune to the world, you become a master of your reaction, a guardian of your own peace. This is the secret. From now on, the concepts of focus, resilience, and calm will no longer be external pursuits. They will be internal practices, a conscious return to your point of power. This is not a mental trick, but a reconfiguration of your being, a technology of consciousness that transforms your essence. What you are about to discover next is how to apply this practically, how to turn this deep revelation into a daily habit. The treasure is not in the theory, but in the application. The seed was planted with your intention, the soil prepared with your attention. Now, we water the seed with practice. The content to come will guide you so you can, at any moment, return to this center and reclaim your power. The journey continues. Now that you understand the why, let's move to the how. The wisdom of the monastics was not a theory to be admired, but a practice to be lived. The chi hack they used to create focus and resilience is an act of redirection, and the power of this act lies in its simplicity. Imagine your attention as a flashlight. Normally, it's trembling, pointing in all directions at once, illuminating fear, worry, cell phone notifications. What the monastics did was take that flashlight and aim it at the one place that truly mattered, the center of their own being. The practice is straightforward and can be done anytime, anywhere. Sit or stand with your spine upright. Place one or both hands gently over your lower abdomen, about 4 fingers below the navel. This point is what they called the dantian, the inner furnace where energy is stored and generated. Now, close your eyes for a moment. Take a deep breath, and with each exhale, feel your attention sinking softly into this central point. Don't force it. Just allow your awareness to settle there. Feel your breath as if it were being born from this center, expanding your abdomen on the inhale and drawing in on the exhale. In the beginning, your mind will resist. It will try to pull you back to the to-do list, to the worries of the day. When that happens, and it will, don't fight it. Simply, gently, bring the flashlight of your attention back to the dantian. This is the crucial part of the hack. The act of bringing your attention back, repeatedly, is what builds the muscle of focus. Neuroscience now shows us that this simple act of redirection creates new neural pathways. You are literally rewiring your brain, teaching it not to be a slave to distraction, but a master of focus. Energetic spirituality teaches us that this practice has an even deeper effect. By consolidating your attention in the dantian, you're activating an energy center that functions like a battery. Instead of your energy dissipating in 1,000 directions, it begins to gather, to strengthen. It's the difference between a leaky cup and a bucket that fills. Over time, this accumulated energy manifests as unshakable calm, an inner strength that allows you to face challenges without collapsing. It's not that the problems disappear, but your capacity to deal with them expands exponentially. You become a lighthouse, not a boat adrift. The conscious repetition of this practice is the key to turning theory into lived experience. Start with just 1 minute if you need to. The power is not in the duration, but in the intention and consistency. You are planting a seed. Each time you gently bring your attention back to your center, you are reconnecting with your source of power. You are, consciously and deliberately, hacking the anxiety and distraction system that modern life has imposed on us. This is the content. This is the core of the wisdom we promised you. But this is just the first layer. The true magic happens when you integrate it into your daily life, transforming a moment of practice into a state of being. And the first step to ensuring you continue this journey is a step of commitment. A commitment to yourself, to your own potential. What comes next is an invitation for you to seal that commitment. An invitation to become a member of this community of seekers. The journey now deepens. You've taken a significant step. You've absorbed wisdom that transcends millennia, touched the essence of a chi hack that can redefine your life. But knowledge, no matter how profound, without the commitment to apply it, is like a seed without water. It holds potential, but lacks the nourishment to grow. And your journey of transformation cannot stop here. The world is full of distractions competing for your attention, trying to steal the energy you are now learning to consolidate. The noise of routine, the demands of daily life, everything conspires to make you forget the stillness you've just found. That's why the next step is crucial. It's a bridge between knowledge and action, between intention and manifestation. And that step is commitment. Commitment to yourself, to your growth. By subscribing to this channel, you are not just supporting Axiom Sage. You are subscribing to your own journey. You are joining a silent community of seekers, people who, like you, have felt the call for something greater. Neuroscience teaches us about the power of positive reinforcement and environment. By subscribing, you're creating a new digital environment for yourself, a constant reminder that your priority is inner mastery. With each new notification from us, your mind will be gently reminded to return to your center, to resume the practice, to reaffirm your intention. You're building a new mental architecture, one that supports and nourishes your growth instead of undermining it. This is an act of power. It is your way of telling the universe, and yourself, that you are serious about your transformation. I promise to continue bringing you the deepest and most transformative content at the intersection of modern science and the timeless wisdom of the East. But for this promise to be fulfilled, you must stay connected. Don't let this knowledge get lost in the sea of information. Anchor it. Solidify it. The subscribe button is not just a click, it's your first conscious act of intention in the journey of applying the Chi hack. It's your first step to turning theory into lived experience, knowledge into a state of being. And the notification bell is not just an alert, it's the signal that a new portal of wisdom is opening, a new opportunity to deepen your practice, to understand more about your mind, your spirit, and your energy. Don't hesitate. Don't let the inertia of the old mind convince you to postpone. Change begins with an act. This is your act. Your soul has brought you here for a reason, and this is the next step it's asking you to take. The power of your Chi cannot be fully released in a vacuum. It needs a channel, a community, a constant reminder. And Axiom Sage is here to be that channel for you. Click the subscribe button. Activate the bell. From this moment on, your journey will no longer be solitary. We will walk together on the path of mastery. Your resilience, your focus, and your calm are waiting for you to commit. The future you desire, filled with purpose and power, begins with this simple yet decisive gesture. Your transformation has already begun, and now it will be sustained. If you are still here, after our invitation, it's because your mind and soul are ready for the next level. The commitment you made, whether a silent act of intention or the click of a button, is the signal that you are ready to go beyond theory. What we've shared so far has been the master key, the fundamental concept the monastics used. But a key, without the understanding of how to open every door, is just metal. True mastery lies not only in knowing the secret, but in applying it so deeply that it becomes a natural extension of who you are. The transition we are about to make is powerful. We will move from understanding the practice to fully integrating it into the tapestry of your daily life. The true Chi hack is not something you do, it's something you become. Think about what you felt when you directed your attention to the center of your being. That brief stillness, that resilience you began to build. That was only the beginning, the first spark. What we will do now is take that spark and turn it into a blazing furnace, a source of energy that is always available to you. Neuroscience teaches us that the brain adapts. Each time you gently bring your attention back to your dantian, you are strengthening the neural pathways that sustain focus and calm. But energetic spirituality reveals that intention can accelerate this process, turning repetition into ascension. By uniting the two, we create a system of exponential growth. This is not about meditating for 20 minutes, it's about living the 24 hours of your day with the mindset of one who meditates. That is the next stage of the journey. The next content is not just a continuation, it's a revelation. We will explore how the monastics integrated this practice into every aspect of their lives, turning even the most mundane tasks into acts of energetic mastery. How they used this focus not only to meditate, but to make decisions, interact with others, and solve complex problems. The real power of this hack is not the ability to isolate yourself, but the ability to engage with the world from an unshakable center of strength. Picture yourself in a chaotic work meeting. Instead of feeling overwhelmed, you simply bring your attention to your center, and from there, the answers flow with clarity and precision. Picture yourself in a difficult conversation. Instead of reacting emotionally, you operate from a place of calm. This is the transition you are about to make, from spectator of knowledge to practitioner of mastery. Your mind, now attuned, is ready to absorb the instructions that will allow you to make this integration. We will explore the anchoring techniques the monastics used to keep their Chi centered, even in the midst of chaos. We will dive into the details of how they turned breathing into a continuous tool for maintaining calm. And we will demystify what it means to live a life of purpose and power, not as a distant ideal, but as a daily reality. What comes next is the part that connects all the dots. It is the full manifestation of the Chi hack. Prepare yourself for the content that will transform not just your mind, but your life. The path is open. This is the part that separates knowledge from mastery. The wisdom we are about to explore is not about what you do in a moment of silence, but about how you become the embodiment of silence amid chaos. What the monastics mastered was the art of energetic anchoring, the ability to activate the Chi hack not only in meditation, but at any moment in their lives. They understood that the external world is a constant source of disturbance, and that true resilience lies in the ability to return to the center instantly. The technique is as simple as it is powerful. It is the practice of micro-anchors. Think of a moment in your day that usually throws you off balance: the notification of a message, a challenging email, the start of a difficult conversation. Instead of automatically reacting to these triggers with stress and distraction, the monastics taught to take a brief pause, a micro-moment of mastery. Before opening your inbox, before starting an important conversation, or when you feel frustration rising, do this: stop for an instant, take a deep breath, and in a single conscious exhale, bring all your attention to your dantian, the energy center below the navel. Simply feel your presence there, as if it were an internal point of gravity. This is your micro-reset. This single act, which lasts only a few seconds, is a direct command to your brain and nervous system. Neuroscience explains the why in a fascinating way. This act of anchoring breaks the brain's reactive cycle. It interrupts the neural pathway that leads to anxiety and stress, instead activating the parasympathetic system. Instead of triggering a rush of adrenaline and cortisol, you send a signal of calm to your body. The brain, instead of getting lost in the turbulence of worry, returns to operating from the prefrontal cortex, the area responsible for logical thinking, decision-making, and focus. You are literally changing your state of being with a single movement of awareness. It's the difference between being the tide and being the anchor. Your energy, once scattered, now consolidates and becomes a force available to be used strategically. Energetic spirituality teaches us that this practice is the fastest way to recharge your internal battery. Instead of waiting to meditate at the end of the day, you are constantly filling your reservoir of chi with these small acts of anchoring. Over time, what begins as a conscious effort becomes a habit, and what is a habit becomes second nature. You will no longer need to remember to anchor. Your mind and energy will do it automatically. You will become a beacon of calm and focus, not a victim of the storm. Your environment may remain chaotic, but your response to it will be one of power and serenity. This is the best content, the real application, the translation of an ancient concept into your modern daily life. But for this practice to take root and become part of who you are, you need more than just the practice. You need a support structure. What follows are the elements that will ensure that this new version of you is not temporary, but permanent. The path to mastery is a construction, and you have just laid the cornerstone. Mastery is not a destination but a daily construction. You now have the hack, the micro-practice that turns dispersion into focus. But what separates intention from habit, and knowledge from wisdom, are the supporting elements. Your mind, by nature, is a creature of habit, and no matter how much it desires transformation, it will resist the new, preferring the comfort of familiar chaos. That's why the monastics didn't rely on practice alone. They built a support ecosystem, a mental and energetic safety net that ensured their mastery journey was continuous. For your chi hack to become more than just a moment of insight, you need these elements. The first element is habit stacking. Neuroscience teaches that the best way to create a new habit is to connect it to one that already exists. Instead of trying to find extra time for your micro-practice, attach it to something you already do every day. Do you have coffee in the morning? Use the moment when the water boils or the aroma spreads to anchor your attention in your dantian. Do you brush your teeth? Do a micro-anchor before you begin. Every time you do this, you are not just practicing, you are programming your brain, creating a new neural pathway that links an existing routine to your new priority of centering your being. Over time, the old habit will become the trigger for the new, and the practice will become as automatic as breathing. The second element is daily intentionality. The monastics didn't just wake up, they woke up with purpose. At the start of each day, before even touching your phone, take a moment to close your eyes and, with your attention in your center, declare your intention for the day. Intend calm, focus, resilience. This simple morning declaration, made with your chi already centered, is like drawing a map for your day. Instead of being carried by the current of events, you become the navigator. Energetic spirituality shows us that intention, when united with concentrated energy, has the power to shape reality. It's not magic, it's the physics of consciousness. The third element, and perhaps the most powerful, is environment. Your journey is not a solitary act but part of a greater tapestry. That's why connecting with a community of seekers, like Axiom Sage, is so vital. The online environment you consume, the ideas you feed your mind, become part of your energy field. By staying connected here, you are creating a digital sanctuary, a constant reminder that there is a path. This community serves as a lighthouse, guiding you back to your center whenever life's storm threatens to throw you off course. The sustenance for your growth comes not just from you, but from the collective strength of a community of shared intentions. These elements are the mortar that solidifies the foundation you are building. They turn an insight into a personal revolution, a practice into a lifestyle. What comes next is the part that will allow you to go even deeper, connecting your energetic mastery not just to your daily life, but to a greater purpose. The hook for the next phase of this journey is mastery itself. Your new level of focus and calm is the sign that you are ready to go deeper, beyond the surface. Prepare yourself. The next content will show you how to use this energy to manifest your reality even more powerfully. You've already felt the difference, the stillness that arises when you anchor your attention in your center, the subtle strength that emerges from that point of power. What you have experienced so far, the discovery of the Chi hack, was not the end of the journey, but the solid foundation upon which true mastery is built. Your new level of focus and calm is not the finish line, but the runway. Neuroscience has shown us that the repetition of a conscious practice creates new neural pathways, and spirituality has taught us that directed intention consolidates your vital energy. Together, they have created a new state of being for you. But what if I told you that this new calm, this resilience you are cultivating, is just the gateway to something greater? That the energy you are learning to centralize is not only for your inner peace, but a power tool for shaping the world around you? This is the new climax, the revelation that the Chi hack goes far beyond managing your mind. It is the prerequisite for manifestation. The monastics didn't seek calm for its own sake. They used it as a state of power to influence the flow of their lives, to manifest purpose and abundance. They knew that inner clarity was the fundamental condition for outer creation. When your mind is scattered, you are reacting to the world. Your energy, your chi, is being consumed by external demands. But when your energy is centered and your focus is a laser, you are no longer reacting, you are acting from a place of intention and purpose. Your energy is no longer a candle trembling in the wind, but a beam that can be directed to create what you desire in your life. Neuroscience, in its research on the power of visualization and intention, is only beginning to scratch the surface of what the ancient masters intuitively knew. The mind does not merely perceive reality, it constructs it. Your inner state of being, shaped by your energy and focus, is the blueprint upon which the universe builds your external experience. When you master your chi, you are not just mastering your body and mind, you are becoming a conscious co-creator of your own reality. This is the turning point of the journey, the moment where the hook becomes the climax. The promise now is even greater. It is not just about calm, focus, and resilience. It is the promise of a life lived with purpose, with the ability to turn dreams into reality. What comes next is the part that connects all these dots. We will dive deeper into the wisdom that shows you how to use this centralized energy to influence the outcomes of your life, how the clarity you cultivate within manifests as opportunities and alignment on the outside. This is the part that takes you from being a passenger to becoming the captain of your destiny. Your chi hack is not a trick, it's a power. And the next step is learning to use it for something greater than yourself, for something your soul longs for. Are you ready to go beyond maintenance and step into the realm of creation? The next content will show you how to use your chi not just to survive, but to thrive, in ways your rational mind cannot yet conceive. The journey is only beginning to reveal its true potential. Now that you have your beacon of calm, it's time to aim your light. The monastics didn't just center their chi to achieve peace. They used that concentrated energy as a brush to paint the canvas of their reality. The knowledge we are about to dive into is the most powerful application of the chi hack, the art of conscious manifestation. This is not passive visualization or superficial positive thinking. It is a deliberate act of energetic engineering, where your intention, fueled by centered energy, becomes the force that shapes your destiny. Think of your mind, once scattered, as a spotlight that illuminated everything at once and nothing clearly. Now, with your chi anchored in your dantian, your mind becomes a laser. And what you are about to learn is how to direct that laser. The practice is a deepening of what you've already learned. Begin with your daily micro-practice of anchoring. Sit in silence, close your eyes, and bring your attention to the center below your navel. Feel the energy consolidating, the stillness deepening. When you feel fully present and centered, use that energy as a springboard. Do not scatter. Use the focus you just created. Now, imagine one single thing you wish to manifest in your life. It could be clarity for a project, the resolution of a problem, or the arrival of a new opportunity. The key is not just to visualize the image, but, crucially, to feel the emotion of the result as if it were already real. Feel the joy of having the problem solved, the gratitude for the opportunity manifesting, the peace that clarity brings. That emotion is the fuel that drives your intention, the wind that fills your sail. Neuroscience, in its research on the power of visualization and neuroplasticity, is only beginning to understand what the monastics knew for millennia. Your brain, when in alpha and theta wave states, cannot distinguish between a vividly imagined experience and reality. By practicing energetic visualization from a centered state, you are not just daydreaming, you are literally rewriting your internal software. Reprogramming your subconscious so that it seeks and creates the reality you intend. You are planting a seed with your most potent chi and watering it with the emotion of the outcome. Energetic spirituality teaches us that your energy, your chi, moves to where your attention and emotion direct it. When you unify these three elements, centered energy, clear intention, and the emotion of the outcome, you create a vortex of attraction. You are no longer pushing your life in the direction you want. You are becoming a magnet, drawing to you the circumstances, people, and opportunities that match your vibration. This is the power of the Creator, the power of one who is no longer a product of their environment but an artist of their own reality. This is the second layer of our content, the deepening that transforms your practice from a management exercise into a creation tool. But mastery is not a single act, it is an ongoing journey. To solidify this power, you must commit to the next level of your evolution. And the first step is a reminder, a reaffirmation of your intention. Your life is your masterpiece. Are you ready to start painting it? The next step is about committing to that work of art. You have felt the power, your mind, your energy, your intention, all aligned in an act of creation. What we have just explored is not just a concept, but a new paradigm of life. And a journey of creation cannot stop here. It demands a continuous source of wisdom, inspiration, and support so that your spark does not fade but becomes a burning flame. Your mind, once scattered, now knows how to center. Your energy, once leaking away, now knows how to accumulate. Your purpose, once a distant ideal, now has a tool to manifest. But the power of inertia, the weight of the old world, is still strong. And if you do not continually nourish yourself, if you do not surround yourself with ideas that sustain your new reality, the old version of you can regain control. That is why this is the moment to make a choice. By clicking subscribe, you are not just saying I like this. You are making a declaration of intention. You are telling the universe and yourself, I commit to my journey of creation. I choose to continue deepening in the wisdom that transforms me. Neuroscience shows us that consistency is the key to neuroplasticity, to rewriting the neural pathways of your brain. By subscribing, you ensure that this consistency is nourished. You are creating a constant trigger, a visual and auditory reminder that your new priority is mastery over your energy and your power of manifestation. It is an act of power. Energetic spirituality teaches us that intention, when united with action, becomes a manifestation engine. What you have just visualized, your deepest intentions, needs to be fed. And Axiom Sage is here to be that power source. Our mission is to keep bringing the depth you need so that your creative power becomes stronger, more precise. What we have explored today was only the first layer. Eastern wisdom is an ocean of depth, and there is much more to be discovered, more about how to use your chi not just to manifest in your personal life, but to create a positive impact in the world around you, more about how your energy connects with collective energy and how you can use that for good. You are no longer just a spectator of life, you are a co-creator. And creators seek tools, inspiration, and a supportive community. By subscribing, you are joining that community. You are solidifying your new identity. Your mind is opened. Your energy has awakened. Now, it's your turn to act. Don't let this spark fade. Make your intention manifest. Subscribe now, activate the bell so you don't miss the next portals of wisdom, and become part of a movement of conscious co-creators. Your future is waiting for you to commit to it. This is your moment. You have committed, and because of that, your mind is now ready for the next layer of mastery. The wisdom we are about to deepen goes beyond your inner world and your ability to manifest. It extends into your interaction with the world around you, your relationships, your ability to positively influence others. The monastics did not live in vacuums. They interacted with the world, but they did so from a state of being that subtly influenced everyone around them. What they knew is that energy, chi is not contained within you. It expands, it interacts, and it influences. What you are about to discover is how to use your centered chi as a beacon of calm in the storm of human interactions. Modern neuroscience is only beginning to understand what the ancient masters intuitively knew about the phenomenon of mirror neurons and the so-called emotional contagion. Our brains are wired to mirror the emotional state of others. If someone enters a room stressed, your nervous system tends to resonate with that stress. But what Eastern wisdom teaches is that this is a two-way street. When you become the source of a strong, coherent energy of calm, others, without realizing it, begin to resonate with your frequency. The second best content of this chi hack is the practice of field analysis. The technique is simple and can be used before any social interaction. Before entering an important conversation, a meeting, or even a conflict environment, perform your micro-anchor. Feel your chi consolidating in your dantian. Take a deep breath, and in a single exhale, bring your attention to the center of your being. Now, with your energy stable, visualize yourself radiating that calm as an invisible force field. Not as a protective shield, but as a wave of tranquility expanding outward from you, enveloping yourself, the other person, or the space. Your intention is not to control or manipulate, but simply to hold the space in a safe, calm, and clear way. When you act from this center, your words become more measured, your reactions more deliberate, and your presence becomes a point of balance. Energetic spirituality shows us that a strong and coherent energy field has the ability to align weaker or chaotic energy fields. You become, metaphorically, the point of gravity in the interaction, no longer just a drifting particle. Tensions dissipate more quickly. Communication becomes more effective. And you find yourself being perceived not as someone who reacts, but as someone who responds with wisdom. This is not a luxury. It is a leadership skill. It is the ability to be the architect of peace, the facilitator of solutions. Your focus, which once seemed like a personal benefit, now reveals itself as a service you can offer to the world. Your calm is not a state of absence, but a presence of power that transforms. Mastery of your chi is not for your own benefit alone. It is a gift you can offer the world. And this is the second pillar that supports the entire philosophy of Axiom Sage, personal transformation as a catalyst for collective transformation. What comes next is the part that will deepen this foundation even further, uniting your energy with an even greater purpose. The path to mastery is a construction, and you have just placed the second cornerstone. You have mastered your inner world, learned to influence your outer world. But the journey doesn't end there. It expands into something much greater. What the most advanced monastics understood was not just the flow of their own energy, their chi, but the flow of the universal chi, the rhythm of the cosmos, the invisible force that animates everything and everyone. They did not see themselves as isolated beings, but as small rivers flowing into a great ocean. And true mastery lay in aligning their own flow with the universal current, rather than swimming against it. This is the deepening of the theme, the point where your individual practice expands into a cosmic connection. The common man sees the chaos in the world, the uncertainty of life, and reacts to it with fear and stress. He fights against the current, spending his energy on losing battles. The master of chi, however, sees a pattern, a rhythm underlying everything. He does not fight the wave, he learns to surf it. His centered energy becomes his board, and the universal chi is the ocean. Neuroscience, surprisingly, gives us a clue to understand this. Our intuition, that visceral sense of knowing what to do or which path to follow, is our brain, in its quietest and most aligned state, processing information in a way the rational mind cannot. When you silence the noise and center your chi, you are tuning into a subtler frequency, one that allows you to perceive patterns, opportunities, and the flow of life that others simply miss. The practice of aligning your chi with the universe is not a separate technique, but an expansion of the one you have already learned. When you do your micro-anchor, when you feel the stillness in your dantian, you are not just calming yourself. You are opening a channel. You are becoming a receiver. Your intention is not merely to shape reality, but to align with the reality that is already manifesting, so that your path becomes one of flow, not of force. Energetic spirituality teaches us that life has a natural flow, a greater purpose, and that your energy is your map and compass. When your inner energy is aligned, you make decisions that naturally lead you toward your highest purpose. What once seemed like coincidence now reveals itself as synchronicity. This is the philosophical turning point. Your search for focus and calm is not a search for control, but for alignment. It is not to shield yourself from the world, but to merge with it in a powerful way. Your life stops being a series of random events and becomes an act of art, a perfect reflection of the great rhythm of the cosmos. Your mastery is not just for you, but so that you can become a point of balance in the world. A tree deeply rooted does not fight the wind. It bends, it sways, but its trunk remains steady, and its destiny is unshakable. What comes next is the part that will give you the unique tools to reach this state, the elements that separate the practitioner from the master. It is the part that will show you how to use this connection with the universe to manifest your deepest purpose. The journey continues. The master of Chi does not just silence the mind, he tunes it. You have already learned to quiet the noise, to find stillness in your center. But the wisdom we will now explore is the unique element that elevates your practice from an experience of silence to an act of vibrational mastery. The most advanced monastics used a power that modern science is only beginning to rediscover, the power of sound and vibration. They understood that the universe is not silent, it is an orchestra of frequencies, and your energy, your chi, has a frequency of its own. To align with the great flow, you must tune your own instrument. This is the element that separates the practitioner from the master, vibrational tuning. The practice is a deepening of your anchoring. Begin as always, finding your position, closing your eyes, and bringing all your attention to the dantian, your energy center. Feel the stillness, feel the presence of your consolidated chi. Now, with your mouth closed, instead of simply breathing, begin to emit a soft, deep, prolonged sound. I am that resonates within you. Do not force the sound. Let it arise from the depths of your being, and consciously direct the vibration of that sound to your dantian. Feel the vibration massaging that point, like gentle waves in a calm lake. Allow that vibration to spread from your center, filling your entire body, aligning every cell, every atom of your being with this single frequency of intention. Neuroscience, in its research on sound and frequency, is showing us why this is so powerful. Low-frequency vibration, when directed inward, has a profound effect on your nervous system. It stimulates the vagus nerve in a unique way, the main communication channel of the parasympathetic system, responsible for calm, healing, and restoration. You are literally vibrating yourself into a state of neurological coherence, where your brain and body operate in perfect harmony. Your mind, which once was a radio full of static, now tunes to the clearest, most powerful, most peaceful channel. Energetic spirituality teaches us that everything is vibration. Your thoughts, your emotions, your energy, everything has a frequency. By creating a conscious, directed inner vibration, you become a tuning fork that aligns your frequency with the universal rhythm. You are not just in harmony, you are creating harmony from the inside out. This is the element that transforms your practice from silent meditation into an act of sonic creation, a way of using your own inner voice to sculpt your reality, to become a conscious co-creator not only through intention, but through vibration. You are using your own essence to manifest your highest purpose. This is the unique element, the final secret that deepens everything you have learned so far. What comes next is the culmination, the part where all these elements unite for maximum impact. Your mastery is about to manifest in its fullness. The final climax is approaching. You have learned to tune your instrument. Now it is time to play your masterpiece. We have reached the pinnacle of our journey. This is the climax where all the threads we have woven, the wisdom of neuroscience, the technology of energetic spirituality, and the power of your own intention, come together in a single, powerful act of mastery. Your attention, now a laser, no longer drifts. Your energy, your chi, is no longer scattered. Your intention, a seed, has been planted in fertile soil of calm. And your vibration, a deep and resonant sound, has tuned your being to the rhythm of the universe. This is not a mental trick or an abstract philosophy. This is your new nature. It is the moment when your body, mind, and spirit begin to operate as a unified system, a motor of power and purpose. Imagine yourself as a lighthouse in the middle of a stormy ocean. The world around you may still roar, the waves of chaos may still try to shake you. But your base, your anchor, is rooted in your dantian. Your energy is centered. Your body resonates with an unshakable frequency of calm. And the light you project, the light of your intention and focus, is not just a signal. It is the manifestation of your own essence. The waves may crash, but your lighthouse stands firm, because it is the very source of its light. Neuroscience, impressively, gives us the final validation for this climax. The practice of unifying attention, intention, and vibration creates a state of deep brain coherence, where different areas of the brain operate in perfect sync. Your prefrontal cortex, the center of logical thought, works in harmony with the older parts of the brain, responsible for intuition and emotion. You are no longer at war with yourself. You are at peace, and that peace manifests as the power to act with clarity, resilience, and purpose. It is the state of flow at its highest level, where action and intention become one. Energetic spirituality teaches us that mastery is not about what you control, but about what you become. You are no longer at the mercy of external energies, but become a master of your own energy, a conscious co-creator who uses your life force to sculpt your reality. The chi hack the monastics used in secret was not a spell to change the world, but an inner technology to change themselves, and, as a consequence, change their experience of the world. The climax of this journey is your total understanding that the power you seek is not in some distant place. It has always been within you, waiting to be awakened, unified, and directed. From this moment on, your life will no longer be a series of reactions, but a symphony of conscious responses. You are no longer at the mercy of chance. You are becoming the conductor of your own destiny. What comes next is the maximum impact, the part that will show you how all of this translates into real, profound transformation in your life. Your power is here. Now, what does all this mean for your life, for your day-to-day? What is the maximum impact of mastering the chi hack the monastics used in secret? The climax was your realization that you are a unified system of energy, intention, and vibration. Now, we will translate that realization into lived reality. The maximum impact is not a moment of enlightenment, but the complete transformation of your life experience, a constant echo of the mastery you have cultivated. The focus will not just be about having fewer distractions, but about the ability to dive into any task with laser intensity. The most complex project becomes a creative flow. The most overwhelming to-do list becomes a clear map. Your mind will not just ignore the noise, it will be immune to it, because your energy is centralized in an unshakable source of power. Resilience will not be about being invulnerable to stress, but about the ability to bend without breaking. Neuroscience shows us that the consistent practice of anchoring your chi in the dantian strengthens the parasympathetic nervous system. This means that even in the face of the greatest challenges, your body will not be flooded with a cascade of cortisol and adrenaline. You will feel the challenge, but your response will be measured in calm, coming from a place of inner strength, not reaction. Your calm will not be about the absence of problems, but about the presence of an inner force that faces them with serenity. It is the difference between being a drifting leaf and being the solid rock against which the waves break. In your relationships, the impact will be profound. It will not be about avoiding conflict, but about being the point of balance that transforms conflict into clarity. You will become the lighthouse of calm in the emotional storm of others, and your presence will be an anchor for those around you. People will not just hear you, they will feel your energy. And your ability to communicate in a centered, non-reactive way will become your greatest leadership skill. Your focus is not a luxury, it is a service you offer the world. And finally, the maximum impact manifests in your purpose and your ability to create. Your life will no longer be a series of coincidences, but an alignment with a flow of opportunities that seem like miracles. Your intention, fueled by centered energy and conscious vibration, will become a powerful magnet. You will not be forcing the universe to give you what you want, you will be aligning your being with what is already yours by right. The purpose that once seemed unreachable will become your natural path. What the monastics secretly understood was that your chi is not a resource to be hoarded, but a force to be used, directed, and manifested. Your life is your masterpiece. And the maximum impact of this journey is your total freedom to live it with purpose, power, and a peace that transcends any external challenge. You are ready to claim this reality. What comes next is the final synthesis of all we have learned, the part that will connect all the dots and give you the map to your future. Let us recap, and, at the same time, go deeper. Throughout this journey, we have uncovered an ancient secret, a chi hack the monastics used not to isolate themselves, but to master the world from the inside out. We began with the realization that your energy, your chi, is the life force constantly scattered by modern life, causing anxiety and lack of focus. We then discovered the point of power, your dantian, the inner furnace where that energy can be consolidated. And the fundamental practice, the simple act of anchoring your attention in this center, a silent command that hacks your mind, silences the chaos of the default mode network, and activates your power of focus. But that was only the foundation. From it, we built a structure of mastery. You learn to use your centered energy not only to find calm, but to manifest your reality with intention, visualizing your desires from a state of neurological coherence. We deepen the concept that your individual mastery is not for your own benefit alone, but a force that can positively influence your relationships, transforming conflict into clarity from a calm, coherent energy field. And, in our climax, we revealed the unique element, the power of vibrational tuning, using sound and vibration to align your frequency with the universal rhythm, making you a conscious co-creator not only through intention, but through resonance. The grand synthesis is this: your life is not a set of random events. It is an interconnected system where your inner energy creates your outer experience. The chi hack is not a trick, but an inner technology that gives you the operating manual for this system. Your anchoring practice creates a state of being. That state of being allows you to manifest your reality. Your manifested reality then reinforces your belief in your own power. And your belief deepens your practice. It's a virtuous feedback loop, an upward spiral of mastery and purpose that takes you to a new level of existence. Your journey is not about becoming someone different. It's about becoming the unshakable essence you have always been. It's about uncovering your own light, clearing the filters that kept it from shining, and finally becoming the beacon that guides not only yourself but also those around you. Axiom Sage is here to guide you on this path, to provide the tools and the knowledge. But the masterpiece is yours. The artist is you. Your peace. Your power. Your freedom. What comes next is the part that will give you the complete map for your future, the conclusion that ties all the threads together and prepares you for your next step. Your transformation is real. Now it's time to act. We have reached the end of this journey. But in truth, your journey is only beginning. You are at a crossroads. On one side, the familiar path that brought you here, the path of dispersion, stress, and the mind carried away by the current. On the other, a new path you have just discovered, the path of mastery, calm, focus, and purpose. What you do with this knowledge will define your reality from this point forward. You can let it get lost in the noise of the world, or you can use it as the first step into a new life, a life you design, not one left to chance. The Chi hack is not an event, it is a practice. And practice requires commitment, a decision to act. Your work, your family, your aspirations, your future, all are waiting for you to bring your best self to the moment. And your best self is your centered self, the self that operates from the power and serenity of the Dantian, not from fear or reactivity. The climax of this journey was not the revelation of the secret, but your realization that your peace and your power have always been within you, waiting to be awakened. Your life is your masterpiece, and your freedom is your ability to shape it consciously. And now, what will you do? My hope is that you stand, or sit, close your eyes, and for just 1 minute, anchor your attention in your Dantian. Feel your presence there. Feel your breath. Allow yourself to be the master of your own focus, even if only for 60 seconds. This is the seed. And with the sustaining elements we've shared, you can water and nurture it until it becomes a mighty tree, with roots deep and calm and branches reaching toward the heights of your purpose. Mastery is not a gift, it is a decision. It is an act of self-love. This is your moment of power. And I promise to continue guiding you, inspiring you, and giving you the tools you need so your journey of mastery can be ongoing. By subscribing, you ensure you won't miss the next portals of wisdom we'll open together. But more importantly, start practicing. The world is waiting for you to bring your light. Your light is not the absence of shadows, but the presence of a force that refuses to be obscured. Your life is not just to be lived, it is to be created. Act. The universe is ready to respond to your intention. Your chi is ready to be the engine of your transformation. Your journey begins now.